Right, I'm going to try and keep this one brief because I don't want to go too technical, but I will leave some links, and I'll get some of my subscribers to leave a few links that I've sent to them, because otherwise I lose everything. It's to do with angular momentum, and this is why the planets are moving around like the Earth and the Moon and everything else, and this is the reason why. And there's a mathematical equation, and it equals L. But I'll just read you something I found first. And this is from, well, I've gone over about, I've cross-referenced about 4 or 5 different things, and wow, I'll tell you what, I'm on it. Okay now, where do I start? Okay. Right, angular momentum. I'll just do a quick explanation. So there's a load of planets: Earth, Mercury, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and whatever. Okay? And each one is given an L1, L2, L3. Added all together becomes L. Basically, it's constant, but it changes. No, sorry, it changes, but it's constant. That's it. They're the changes, and that's the constant. So in other words, all the planets moving around here, there, and everywhere, and doing the different, you know, and in the Milky Way we go like this, don't we? So all the planets are moving around, but actually they're stable. They're stable. And the conservation of angular momentum is quite essential. And it is one of the key laws of physics. And that's on a microscopic and macroscopic scale. So if I can just give you an example of best I can, because it's quite complicated, but it explains pretty clearly what's going on. Yeah, the conserved quality we are investigating is called angular momentum. The symbol for angular momentum is the letter L. Just as the linear momentum is conserved when there is no net external forces, angular momentum is constant or conserved when the net torque is zero. We can see this by considering Newton's second law for rational motion. So I've done a bit more digging, and I found some of Einstein's stuff on this very subject, and it's kind of like warning, or you don't want to pay for on it, because they were concerned about what was going on. And they did an experiment. There's an experiment called the Cavendish measurements between impeccably neutral bodies. So basically, that is why the planets are moving around. And like I say, if I don't want to go too deep into it, but when that conjunction comes up, and Venus is in the mix, and Jupiter and Saturn go within 0.1 degree apart, what's going to happen is, because Jupiter's got no electromagnetic charge, so what might happen is that the one from Earth or whoever will jump onto that one, onto Jupiter. I think it's Jupiter that's got no electronic atmosphere. I'm pretty sure it is, and it's going to pull some charge from the Earth, I would imagine. and then that's when the plasma event thing. But yeah, that Einstein paper that I've read, that PDF file, I will get my friend to, or I'll try and get, no, I'll put it in the link if I can, because I'm rubbish at things like that. But very interesting, coupled with a few comments I found online, which kind of like tie into what's going on. Now, the last time, well, these conjunction happen when Jupiter comes into it is every 8 years, I think. And the last one was 2012, but you have two. When you have two in a year, it's pretty big. And these planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, Jupiter, do influence the ionosphere, and they'll mess up radio reception, because when they're in, that's when the sun has its biggest sunspots and discharges, and we know what's going to happen there. Yeah, just some of these comments I found. Another one: did you realise when the last cataclysm occurred in 1500 BC, only 2 to 3% of the population? Yeah. Another guy here. So Mars becomes very bright. Oh, that's it, yeah. This guy wrote down here in a comment, now remember, Mars has no electromagnetic field, so when it moves into Earth's larger electrical plasma charged tail, it grounds it. Now all that supercharged electromagnetic plasma energy of Earth is discharged to Mars. Mars is lit up very bright as Earth's sky's clear. But Venus, twisting and turning comet tail, comes again. Earth electromagnetic field is supercharged once again, but it quickly directly to Mars, which become bright. Now, since Venus is supercharged electromagnetic field, yeah, it's all there. It's definitely written in the stars. And when I found that paper on that Einstein wrote all that time ago, and just connecting all the dots as you do, yeah. So that thing that's coming in is going to mess up this, and this is why all the planets are twisted. That's why the moon's doing this and the Earth's doing that, and even I think people have noticed other planets spinning around that they shouldn't be doing. That's because L5's coming in to mess it up. That was the example I wrote down, and that's why I put 5. I only supposed to have drawn 4, but I didn't. But you get the picture, and I'll leave the link. I'm sure Briggsy knows this anyway. Yeah, angular momenta. Well, what can I say? I'll leave the links below. Peace out.